Hoi and welcome, hi and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at a summary of my Generation 1 of my Rainbowsin challenge, starting with Generation 1 Wrath. Normally speaking, I would do this with a video, but unfortunately I lost all of my recordings of this challenge when I was playing it, and I've been playing this challenge for about 2 years. We're at Gen 7 now. I'll just go right through them with the screenshots I did save that are on Tumblr. So yeah, these are 215 screenshots trying to summarize Generation 1 of my Rainbowsin challenge. Let's get started. So first up we have Brielle Wrath, the Generation 1 founder and Sin of Wrath. She is a hothead and she was evil. I really like her. She's still one of my favorite Sims I've ever made. I just like her very much. She's one of my favorites. This was the house that she moved in with. When you move in with a empty house with 2,000 simoleons. As you can see, there's already something in the house. That's what I bought with that money. I bought like a toilet and a table and a seat, and I think that was kind of it. Very quickly on, we met Jake. She doesn't really like him. She's just attracted to him, to be honest. And they went to this weird, creepy restaurant with the Grim Reaper gnome and stuff. So yeah. It was kind of fun. They argued a lot, but even after a few days, she was starting to miss him again, and they went out again, and this happened. And eventually, there was a birthday, so the teen years kind of went by quickly. She didn't really go to school that much. She had a part-time job as well. As you can see, Jake is in the background here, but also another sim, and her name is Juniper, and Juniper is going to be pretty important. After this, Jake went and moved in with Brielle, and that makes it a little bit easier because Brielle can't use any friendly interactions, but Jake can. So to make the relationship go easier, I moved him in and made him do the friendly interactions, and she did the romantic and the mischievous ones because friendly is out of the question. Gave them a little makeover because they became a young adult and moved in. So this is Brielle as a young adult, and this is Jake as a young adult. That's kind of fun. She was always making friends in her own way, fighting around the neighborhood and kind of always winning. Jake came back with a cat. He loved it so much, but unfortunately Brielle didn't. She doesn't get along with a lot of people. Now, here we have Brielle again together with Juniper. And Juniper is kind of like the best friend of Jake, but Juniper also had a crush on him and he doesn't know. And Brielle sees right through her, so she was like, what the hell are you still doing here? That's kind of what happened there. Then Brielle found out she was pregnant. From Jake, of course, and she did this interaction without me knowing. So we had test and then she did this. So this is a friendly interaction, but I was not paying attention for a second and then it was already happening. So yeah, it can happen. He directly after went down to one knee and of course she said yes. Now, kind of a little bit later, Brielle went to San Menchino to visit one of the festivals and came across Romy. Romy, she is my Gen 2 of my Not So Berry thing that I am doing also on Tumblr. So they met. I kind of find it funny because she is the Gen Red and Romy was also the Gen Red. So yeah. She made friends again, not got into a fight this time though, so that was good. And as a surprise, we had a wellness treatment from Jake before going away, and we had lots of funny glitches, but at least she was a little bit calmed down before giving birth to their firstborn, and his name was Mark. So this is the first baby that's born. Let me spoil it already. He's not the heir. Brielle made some more friends. The baby grew up into a toddler. Yes, there's the toddler. He has her red hair. That's kind of fun to me. And then we went on to the marriage. Brielle and Juniper aren't the best of friends, and Juniper is really sad that Jake is getting married to Brielle because she doesn't trust her at all, and Jake doesn't really know anything other than she can be a little bit of a mean, but he really likes her still, so that's kind of fun. Like, look at this, like, he is being so sweet to Brielle and everything, and she's just like, no, why is that not me? At least in my head, that's what she's saying. And here she is like, yeah, is this really a good idea? And he's like, what are you talking about? This is my love. So yeah, Juniper is kind of sad because they are getting married. And we had the ceremony and everything. It was beautiful. I really like these two together. But eventually, in the bedroom, Juniper was talking back to Brielle, and they started fighting. And of course, Brielle won. Not long after the marriage, she became pregnant again. And this is also a very important thing that happened. We got a vampire to break in. And this vampire is kind of important to our Gen 7. This vampire has been around from Generation 1. So keep that in mind for the next generations. She told, oh no, this is her giving birth already. So we're going to go quick through all of this. Giving birth to another baby. And there he is. His name is Pierre. Pierre Glutton, as you might have known from the name. Glutton is the next generation. So we have little Mark here. And we have the new baby, Pierre. I love these two. Some inappropriate playing with the glitches. I really like this glitch. Brielle trying to tease Juniper, but Juniper kind of already knows who Brielle is, so it didn't work out that well. The birthday of Mark, he's going to become a child instead of a toddler, and he is kind of cute. At least I think so. He really looks a lot like his mom, but he has the eyes of his dad. And again, Juniper is always there because Jake just sees her as his best friend. So she comes to all the birthday parties, comes over a lot, but she kept staring at him, and I'm not doing this. This was just in the game. Then our little Pierre grew up into a toddler, and it was very fun. So this is the new portrait of Mark, and the new portrait of Pierre as a toddler, and he's so cute. Well, at least when he's not making a mess, or sleeping on the floor. Well, that's kind of cute too, though, but still. And, oh yeah, this was the time that Mark was sick, and he got to stay at home from school and just play all day. Then we have a very proud Brielle over here, and a stinking, dying of anger Juniper over here. Brielle had locked her up on their balcony and just made her so mad with teasing and just being mean that her heart exploded from, well, being so angry. And she died. And as you can see, there's two different reactions. Like, Jake over here is like, oh my god, what happened? And Brielle's just like, yeah. Finally. She is so evil. I really enjoyed playing this generation because it was just so different than what you normally do. Little Pierre was being a little bit mischievous. It just runs in the family, I guess. But unfortunately, he also ruined the project of Mark. And as you can say, Mark wasn't really that happy about it. And this was the first time in their relationship that things started to go bad. In this generation, these two have to have a bad relation, or kind of hate each other. So that's what is happening here. Playing video games, one of the most favorite pastime of these two, and she's working on that handiness that she has to max. So eventually the ghost of Juniper came back and told Jake about what happened. He wasn't too happy about it. Jake aged up into an adult, and toddler Pierre became a child. And he is so looking cute. And the adult makeover for Jake as well. Do I really need to say something about this picture? She is just always getting more friends in her own way. And there's Romy again, looking at the fight she started. Now, she was out all night and Jake wasn't having it. He was just like very angry that she was gone all night. But while she was gone, he met up with Juniper's ghost again, and she finally told him that she kind of liked him. And eventually they became a little bit flirty and touchy and feeling. And when Brielle came all stinked up on the balcony, she saw and she was like, "Oh my god, Jake, how can you do this to me?" And he was just like, "No, nothing is happening." And Brielle was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to kill this baby again." or Jake. She didn't really decide that which one it was. But in the afternoon or in the morning, Jake was being really flirty and trying to make up with it. And then we had this demon-eyed Brielle. It looks very disturbing. And he kind of came on to her and kissed her, and she was going along with it. But then she thought, like, hell no. Did you know what you did last night? Do you know how much you hurt me just by being flirty with her? Well, I have told you already that she really likes you. She kind of went on to a cafe just to have a cup of coffee, to chill out, just relax a little, not trying to make any more friends. And she came across this lovely little fellow named Federico. Federico was very into, oh, that was my chair, was very into all of the mischievous things that Brielle did. He never, not even once, had a negative reaction to it. And eventually he became flirty as well. And let me just say, she did some flirting and stuff like that. So she did mischievous interactions and she did some romantic interactions. But he was just really into it. Eventually, she kissed him. And they kissed some more. And she kind of fell in love with this Federico guy. Well, she was being married to Jake, but Jake was hugging Juniper, and all of this was kind of messed up in her head as well. But she thought, well, what the hell? I'm evil. I mean, I can do this. Why the hell not? At home, things weren't great between the two siblings, and Mark was insulting Pierre, and Pierre didn't really know why, but it was all still the grudge about the project that he destroyed. But he didn't know that anymore because he was a toddler back then. And he was just like, okay, I will get you back. I really like this. I don't even know where this comes from in the game. I really want to recreate it sometimes, but I couldn't see it. But unfortunately for Pierre, when he did this, his mom just walked in and he got the blame for everything. 2 days later, Federico called, like, hey, it's hot. Shall we go to the pool? And Brielle was like, yeah. And her feelings grew. Jake, however, still didn't know about all of this. Her job was getting more and more important because her position just kept going up and up and up, and she was almost the new crime boss in this town as well. Well, she was away though. Jake got a little frisky with Juniper, and he was just seeing it as best friends and stuff like that, and said like, yo, I'm married and stuff like that, so maybe it's not good to go too far and stuff like that. But he was still her best friend, even though she was dead. They really get along. On the other hand, Brielle didn't really mind because she was occupied with, well, doing Federico. And I don't know, these two just really belong together, because never have I ever seen him have a negative reaction to her mischievous or romantic behaviors, and with Jake I did, so this is kind of fun, and he really just liked all the mischievous stuff. At home, things were not going so well. They always had fights and stuff like that. Yeah, things weren't good. Their friendship bar was just all the way down into the red already. They had a little bit of romance left, and he wouldn't even sleep under the same covers as her. So eventually, Brielle said, like, okay, maybe it's time that we get a divorce. And he was like, no, but what about our children? Please don't. And she was like, yeah, I already packed your stuff, so if you can, please get it. I've got someone coming over. And there he was. Federico was already there. And he was just like, what? What the hell was this? Yeah, this is my boyfriend for a time now, and you're kicked out, so bye. It was really, really bad. You shouldn't do this. Let's be honest, this is awful, but this is wrath, so this is a sin who's doing this. Yeah. They immediately went up, and Jake was like, okay, but what about me? And before they went all the way up, the kids started fighting, and real fighting. And they had to say something about it, and as you can see, Brielle wasn't really feeling it, and was just like looking at Jake like, okay, this is all your fault. I don't want to deal with this, you deal with this. Another birthday, and as you can see, Federico is there, and Pierre and Brielle, but it's Mark's birthday, so also Jake was invited. Of course, because he's his dad. But yeah, Mark aged up, and I really like his new look and stuff like that. He really is a combination of Brielle and Jake, and he's just too cute. And here is Brielle just flirting with Jake because she can't do friendly interactions, so she did a romantic one that wasn't kind of positive. And Federico came in, and he was just like, hey. And Brielle was like, yeah, sorry, can't use friendly interactions. And Federico was like, yeah, okay, it's all fine, just be like that, it's okay. And Jake was like, oh my god, how can you be so chill about this? Then it was Brielle's birthday, and Jake decided to come as well because of the kids, and he missed them, so yeah. And she became an adult instead of a young adult. And he was just like, shall we play some video games? Like we always did. And Brielle was like, maybe you should just leave. I mean, you don't live here anymore. I kind of just want you to leave. Pierre was like, yeah, but I don't want to. And I don't know why this screenshot is so small, but it is. So, yeah. And Mark was like, yeah, Dad, maybe you should go. I will come over to you in just a few days. And eventually the other family, like Federico and Brielle, and Mark and Pierre, went to play video games. So yeah, and of course Brielle won and Federico didn't do as well. While he was there though, Jake and Juniper reconnected, and as you can see by how shirtless he is, more things happened. And Brielle was like, okay, I need to fix this. I need to call someone and bring Juniper back to life. So this is kind of the first decent thing she did. Well, it's only because she is friends with the Reaper. This is not real in the game though, but this is the story behind it. Like, as you can see as well, maybe in the mirror, you can see the washer flying up and down because she kind of hated having Juniper there as a ghost all the time, breaking everything. So when Juniper became, well, alive again, Jake was like, oh my god, I can't believe you are here again. And they kind of immediately kissed, and he kind of immediately asked her to marry, no, not marry, but, what do you say? move in. That was the that was the thing. They became true loves and moved in together, and they get the house where they lived in. And Brielle moved out and went to live with Federico in this lovely little house. I have no clue who this is by again, but yeah. This was the new bedroom from Pierre. As you can see, it's a lot of orange and there's food and stuff. And yeah, his mom just kind of made out with him, with Federico, and yeah, bad luck. They went to the Romance Festival and he went down to one knee, asked her to marry him, and of course she said yes, because Federico is her one true love. Even though you're evil and mean and a hothead who's incapable of being friendly, you can still find love. Yeah, I love this. I really love these two together. So, the kids, I went with kind of like a divorce schedule as well. Like, 1 week they were with Jake and Juniper, and 1 week they were with Brielle and Federico. Because that's how normally things go when you are divorced and you have kids. The kids get to stay at one parent at a time, and they were gone for the week when they moved and he proposed and everything, and this was when they got back, and this was the first time the kids got to see the new house. Pierre loved it. He loved the orange. But the siblings continued to fight. Not long after, Brielle was pregnant again. This time from Federico, of course, and he loved the idea. Mark had tried to spend some more time being away from everyone. He was in the gloomy mood and had the teen thing, like wearing black, I don't know exactly what it was, but yeah. And he invited over his friend and kind of secret crush, Ritfit. And I have no clue if I say that name correctly, but that was his secret crush. He flirted a little bit and everything, but it didn't go much further. So Brielle hadn't told the kids yet, but now she couldn't hide it anymore. And when she told the kids that they were getting another sibling, this was their reaction. Mark was kind of devastated, and Pierre was happy because maybe he would get a sibling that loved him. Ritwik and Mark were just flirting a little bit, and he was trying to convince Ritwik to go out with him, but he was just like, nah, dude, you're just my friend, nothing more. I don't roll that way. So that was kind of sad for Mark, and he was really devastated by it, and he played it off as a joke, like, haha, haha, I didn't mean it like that, we're just friends and stuff, and it was really sad. Then we went to the bowling alley to celebrate Pierre's birthday, and he became a very cute little handsome teenager. Federico was there doing the bowling and looking awesome at it, and Jake was there as well, but he was less awesome at it. And this is the new family portrait. We got Pierre, Federico, Brielle, and Mark. This is a rat named Cheese who's on holiday from, he's the rat of Pierre. So Pierre is Pierre Glutton, Gen 2 is Glutton as well, and he has to eat a lot and stuff like that, and he has a rat, what I thought was funny because of eating rats, restaurants, rats, and naming him Cheese. That was kind of fun to me. These siblings never get along. He was still insulting Pierre. Brielle was just busy making stuff when all of a sudden contractions started, and she went to Federico and told him about the babies coming. And as you can see, he is a scientist, so he was like, yeah, I'm a doctor, but not that kind of doctor, go to the hospital. So she went, and they got a little baby. And that little baby was named Mason. So Mason was born. Here is the rat. Oh my god, Pierre and his red cheese, they are so lovely together. I mean, I don't like the idea of the My First Pet Stuff pack, but I love the rats. I love a lot of objects in that pack, and I might be the only one, and you might also think I'm strange because of it, but I kinda like the pack. I don't like the idea of the pack, that you have to have cats and dogs before it, but there are some objects and stuff that I really like. Even in the family room, these two were still fighting, and Federico was like, yeah, I'm just not going to acknowledge anything that you are about to say. I don't. Pierre had the weird glitch that Jake also got, so it runs in the family. Mason also aged up into a toddler already, so yeah, Pierre really likes kids, not in the way that shows like here, but still. In the meantime, Mark had a other friend over. This is Caden, and Caden and Mark were really close. As you can see, Pierre was still playing with Mason, and Mason is kind of a mischievous little boy as well. Then we spent a day over at Jake's, and as you can see, this is just the same house, but Jake and Juniper redid everything. They got married and had, well, she was pregnant as well. So yeah, there were going to become more kids of these two as well. Then it was birthday time again. Mark is aging up into an adult. Juniper was also there because, well, Jake is his dad and they celebrate the birthday together. Juniper was there and pregnant. So yeah, this is the new family portrait. Then finally the big day came that Federico and Brielle were getting married. And I really like these two together. They are just cute. Sorry, I keep saying it, but I just really feel like that. And Mason was really Federico was really a good dad to Mason as well. Playing some Sims in The Sims is always fun, and Brielle was picking up the kids and at Jake's, and also saw the new kids. There were twin girls. I don't know the names right now for a second, but yeah, so they got kids as well. Little appreciation picture of cheese. And, well, Brielle just being Brielle against Mason. Mark getting closer to Caden. Meanwhile, there was a birthday of Mason. He became a kid, a lovely little kid. And Caden and Mark were taking things a little bit further, and not just a little bit, but kind of a lot. As you can see, Mason was just there like, oh my god, go away. But yeah, things moved quickly with these two. And eventually they went on a date. Remind you, they are adults as well. And eventually Mark went down to one knee because he really wanted to marry Caden. As you can see, he accepted. Then we had another birthday party, and Mark was invited again, and not Mark, Jake was invited again, and as you can see, Jake aged up into an elder by this point. These are his two little twin girls. They are very cute and very similar to Juniper. And Pierre was about to age up into a young adult. There was just an epic shot with the sunlight from behind. It's just like, okay. But true to his name, he was just being a glutton on that cake. Jake and Brielle went with Pierre to a apartment in the city because they saw something and they thought maybe this is something you want to live, and he does. So yeah, Mason just got some science from his dad, the scientist, Well, playing video games was not really his thing, but to please his mom, he would just go along with it. Pierre started working on his mixology skill, which he needs for his generation as well, but the only thing he could make was water. So he was mixing water in a cup and then just pouring it in. Can you imagine that you're going, yeah, I would like to have a cocktail. Yeah, no problem, sir. Let me just mix water with water and then just the ice cubes and then water and let me stir it and here you go, you have water. Yeah, sorry, I really like those moments. He met the landlady of the apartment and eventually Brielle was promoted to boss. Now, boss is the level 10. What's even better than being the brains of the organization, being the brains boss? Now, Brielle's crew can do all the work while she bathes in 1,000 simoleon bills. Who cares if it's dirty money when there's so much of it? So yeah, this was the kind of the end of Generation 1. I hope you enjoyed this and are looking forward to me doing a summarized version of each generation because I really want to record again for this challenge. But yeah, so these are the new households. So we got Mark and Caden over here. We got Jake and Juniper, the twins, and the new toddler. I have to say I don't remember their names, to be honest. I have them on the family tree thing, but I can't access it right now. So maybe I will just edit it in, but I don't know for sure. And then we have Brielle, Mason, Federico, and Pierre. And Pierre is going to move out pretty quickly. So yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know exactly when I'm going to post Gen 2, but it's going to be soon. As always, kusjes en liefde, kisses and love. Until next time, bye bye.